Alright, this time around, Craig's breaking the donk out. Let's have a look. Okay, here's a few pics of the old wagon from when she was first rescued from the bush. It's going to be a cool looking thing going down the road, this, and it's going to sound even better because this episode we've got the engine reveal. You got to check this out. This thing is going to be very cool. Craig's been doing some top quality work on this car, and I'm sure, as we all do, I really appreciate him sharing it with us. Great stuff, mate. It's awesome. And like I said, check out this donk. This thing is very cool. Love it.
Okay, so we'll have a look at what we're going to put in this goon. Right, yeah, so there it is. It is a little small block that's going to go in this thing, and hopefully should give it a little bit of poke. What is it? I suppose it is something a little bit different. It's actually an R3 Siamese bore 59-degree cam angle block. Now it's a 360 mains. It was a 340 stroke. However, we give it a bit of a stroke past that, so it's now 466 cubes. So it's about 7.6 litres. It's not. I mean, it's pretty grumpy. It's not the hugest cam in it. I still wanted to keep it streetable. So we engine dynoed it on pump fuel, 98 pump fuel. She made 700 horsepower and about 800 newton meters of torque. So it did push it out there. I did want to keep it, as I said, a bit streetable. So this is what's going in it. Who built it was Dominator Engines. That's Russ at Dominator Engines. They're in Guildford, if anyone wants to know that. Really good bloke. Good bunch of guys that work there as well. They know their stuff, love their Chrysler gear. Yeah, just good all around. Couldn't recommend them enough. Transmission behind it, 727, built by Peter at Southwest Automatics. We'll get that out a bit later on and we'll show you that. Another good guy, fairly well known as well in the Chrysler world. Just knows his stuff, and again, genuine bloke. So if you're looking to get stuff done over this neck of the woods, they're the guys who I recommend anyway. So righto, we'll keep poking away with this and hopefully we can get this thing in soon. Rightio then, we've given the undercarriage a good lick, as you always should. Still a bit annoyed at myself. I bought a 4-litre tin of the rust seal. Wishing I didn't now, because it looks like I'm about to probably waste about 2.5 litres of that. It's not the cheapest stuff. Anyway, so I did buy a 4-litre tin thinking I'd be able to portion it out and probably save a little bit of money, but it's not worked out that way. If you're just doing little jobs, I mean, this is a fairly big job, but I reckon you're better off buying 1-litre tins. A little bit more expensive to buy like that, but in the long run, it's actually cheaper, unless you're going to do a real big job and use it nearly all at once. So recommend the 1-litre tin. That's my own opinion on that. Anyway, first coat's down. I'll come back out in a couple of hours and throw the second coat down, and that part will be done. And then we'll try do the the wheel arch as well. Hopefully this paint lasts long enough and I can get both the wheel arches all cleaned up as well and get that body deadener off there, and give it a bit of a run. Rightio. Okay, so we'll just touch base on what I've done to the K-frame here. It's a Hemi 6 K-frame. Some can tell straight away, some of you might not, but that's what it is. What we did was I cut the engine mounts off this and then had them, took them out, got them traced out and laser cut out, and then refolded up to pretty much the exact same shape as the factory ones were. And then I mounted them up to an engine and sat it in, and then shuffled across to the left 10mm. The reason why I did that was to allow a little bit extra room with some 1 7/8 header pipes past the steering box. They do fit factory, but I know they are super tight to get in. Now, you still got to remove the steering box if you want to get the driver's side header pipes out, even when you do this, but it's so much easier. It's just easier to work around as well, and to fabricate up as well. It's a lot easier to get in there, that little bit of difference. I also did the same with the transmission tunnel. It's been moved over, or tunnel, the transmission mounts rather, it's been moved over 10 mil to accommodate that, and the uni joints will make that up, no problems at all. Engine mounts I used, I went with the LK Performance ones. I really like the engineering that those guys put into that. They're nice, beefy, strong. The other reason why I went with them is that they use a rubber bush. I haven't had any experience with it, but I've heard that the Nolafane type ones, you do get a bit of vibration and noise through the car. So other reason why I went with the LK ones. 3 little bolts here to the left. These little fellas here, if you can see. What they are is, that's where the remote oil filter mounts. A lot of people mount these everywhere. Not knocking it. It's just not my thing. I don't think it looks the best. And when you undo them, it does make a bit of a mess. I've had one of mine mounted up there once before as well. And then I figured with a bit of playing around, you can actually get them in here. So you take about 5 mil off your K-frame. There's plenty of meat there. It could be 5 mil, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on the K-frame. And then the filter and location kit, it all fits in there really, really nice. No issues getting at it. That's perfect. So it's obviously easier to do that without the engine in there, but you can actually do it with the engine in. You might have to get an angle drill to get in there. Maybe, I think I used an angle drill when I fitted one with the engine in, come to think of it. But anyway, that's what that is. Now, when I come to getting this, it also doesn't interfere. Anyone's wondering, does it interfere with your brake reaction bars or radius rods? No, it doesn't. You just got to make sure you move it back far enough, and you won't have any issues with that. I'll touch base when I get a bit better shot on the bash plate that I made up for this too, because this is a high volume sump. Does hang a bit low, and it's good to have a little bit of protection for them. Rightio, let's get into it. Rightio, so just an update on how we're travelling with this again as well. We're just about to do some, put some rust seal over the rear section. I sort of had to stop and do this because I didn't check the lid when I put the rust seal back on. I cleaned all the inside of the can, which is, if you haven't used the product before, if it's not clean, you'll be lucky, and it dries, you'll be really lucky to get the lid off it again. So anyway, I didn't check the inside of the actual lid, and it had a bit of paint and that on it, and the can didn't seal properly, so it started to cure on me in the can. So I need to use it all up. So I've hooked in, give this a rough up, a clean up. Now let's give it a coat. Okay, so we've got it all done in 2 coats now. I'll give you an idea on how much I use, so don't buy too much like I did. I've used 1 litre, and that's to do 2 coats from more or less, front of the firewall right back. It's both inner front guards. Obviously, I haven't done the outer rear guards, but I have still a bit left in the tin, so should get away with 1 litre. So it spreads really good. Again, if you're using a gun, you'll do it in easy. You'll shit that in with a gun. Look, the other reason why I reckon this is the go is it's rated to about 360 degrees Celsius before it starts to peel off. So if you plan on ripping a skid like I might do, I reckon it'll hold up a bit better. So anyway, we'll do that, and after a little bit, when we get this down the road, I'll post a vid underneath, and we'll see how it's holding up. In the meantime, one more rust spot to do, which is this fella. So I'll take a little section out of something else, and I'll put that in there, then we'll get into this and get that done. Righto, hope you guys enjoying it. Let us know in the comments. Cheers.
Alright, how good is that? Hey, the old girl's gonna hoot. I love it. So, thanks again, mate, for sharing it with us. That's very cool. Some classy work going on there. And yeah, the old wagon's going to be pretty legendary, I think, once she hits the streets. Yeah, love it. Very cool. So, thanks again. And for everyone else, just thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share it around. And have a good one. Cheers.